The cat fruit booty Budden said something about me. You didn't talk about the women you beat up. You act like I didn't even say that. I said you beat up women because it is a fact. You beat up women. TMZ is not after you because your voice isn't as powerful as mine. The Okie Dokie Jackson dude has started another lie, and he's gonna have to pay for this one. He lied and said, I tried to get Darlene to hold up a shirt depicting black people as monkeys. You're going to have to prove it. You're going to have to prove it. There's some dude, Push Up In You Faggo. He got a page. Push Up In You Faggo. You'll see. You can't call black men fouls. I am so against fouls. I don't care what happens to a. But I know that you guys are riding the wave to call me a because y'all are trying to get me assassinated. Because what good is a foul in any society? 50, 150, still out here living, kicking, running it. I don't know what they got planned for me, but I'm not about to stop doing what I do. Darlene OGOTs, Craig will be here in a little bit. Everybody is called a media firestorm. My voice, I'm shocked. I didn't know. My voice got so powerful that the media, not bloggers, not fat girls with YouTubes, not busters who buy cigarettes 1, 2, 3 at a time. We ain't worried about them. They weren't never the problem. What it is, we have mass media trying to shut down the voice of Corey Holcomb in the 5150 show, and of course, the bloggers who are envious of what we do are going to join in. Ever since TMZ has gave a one-sided version of what happened, it then got to the point where even a man like me, who I don't really, I don't walk around living in fear, but I fear for my life now because I see what has been said about me, and they are desperate to bring me down because the word pedophile has been thrown in the mix.
Right. I've been hearing a lot about this. It's been a busy few weeks in the world of comedy, but especially in the world of black comedy, things have been going crazy. People are throwing accusations that Corey Holcomb, love him or hate him, you have to admit, he does have a big voice in the world of comedy. They're calling him a PDF. And I've just been seeing countless videos in my algorithm. Oh, Corey Holcomb is this, he's that. All the big commentators last week, Joe Budden was going hard on Corey Holcomb as well. That video, that viral TMZ video of Corey, punching that lady, that female comedian. That shit went crazy viral. Everyone's watched it. Everyone is commenting on it. And of course, Joe Budden and his team, they've seen it and they didn't have nice things to say about Corey. They were going in on him. So a lot of people are going in on Corey right now, but the PDF allegations, that's the worst one. I've seen these clips of Corey Holcomb saying some very questionable stuff. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. You guys can check those videos out. Maybe I'll include 1 or 2 here. But yeah, Corey has said some very questionable stuff in the past. Now, I guess you could argue that within the context of comedy, these things are permissible. Some people may argue that if you consider yourself to be a comedian and people pay to see you, then I guess you kind of have space to say what you want. But of course, there's a line. There's a line. Even in comedy, there should be a line. But enough there. Let's see what he has to say about these allegations because, yeah, to me, it's very hard to defend and it's really hard to actually argue otherwise that you weren't saying those things. So let's continue.
Has been thrown in the mix. And let me tell you something. This is deep. I am no pedophile. I have never been accused of being a pedophile. I have never had charges of being now. This is something that's coming from the mass media, TMZ. Ever since they said what they said, I have been, they trying to get at me for real. Let me tell you something, what they do, because they did this to Michael Jackson. They did this to Martin Luther King. They did this to Malcolm X. They did this to so many people. When they ready to come get you, they assassinate your character so people don't look at you as a human being. This is the footage that goes in the security office of the Improv. It says Shrine of Crime right there. And we blotted out some of the people's faces because the truth is we don't want to show everybody, but I'm not banned from the Improv. But you know who is banned from the Improv? Right there. Right there. Right there. If she's seen up there, they are supposed to call the manager and the cops immediately. I'm not banned from the Improv. I don't have a criminal history. This woman stabbed everybody who called her innocent. I know what I'm doing. When a drug addict is talking crazy to me and following me, I'm telling you, I know what they do to people. In that video where I got into a skirmish with the dude that was her boyfriend, I don't know if you know this, I'm gonna say it. Since then, she stabbed that man.
I'm looking at the comments right now, and people want Corey to address. They want him to address the whole Darlene situation because last week he got into it with Darlene, and of course they want him to address the allegations, the PDF allegations. So some people are gonna argue that this is one big distraction. All of that thing with Christine and the punch, that's like old news at this point. Right now, people want to hear about the PDF allegations. People want to hear about whether or not you're gonna apologize to Darlene. It seems like Corey Holcomb's fan base are turning against him. I'm seeing these big commentators who love this guy, now they're turning against him. And of course, we all know Corey Holcomb's always been a very contentious individual. But when your own people are turning against you, your own fans are turning against you, something is wrong. Address the allegations, confront it, address the elephant in the room. Because right now, it does feel like Corey's kind of beating around the bush.
She went to jail for stabbing that man. And it wasn't no let her out overnight because they couldn't let her out overnight because when you go to jail and you are high like that, they let you air out in the cell besides your crime. So everybody who saw that thing, innocent woman, no, Corey Holcomb was protecting himself and always will protect himself against drug addicts. Now, they have something online, once again, about this pedophile thing, and it's going too far. So my lawyer said, you don't even have to really talk about that for real, but just make sure everybody knows this. I'm no pedophile, never been accused before in my life of being a pedophile. My day in court is coming, and I don't even have time for court because I live a glorious life. I work and perform. They said this is an innocent woman. This woman, since I had the incident with her, she stabbed a man. So all you guys who don't know what you're talking about is predictable because you have feeble minds. Now let's get to this next soft shit. And I ain't finna spend a lot of time on it. I'm gonna spend about 10 minutes on this. The cat Fruit Booty Budden said something about me. And okay, yeah, I wear a dusty hat. I forgot all the stuff he said right now. Yeah, clothes dirty, no shape up, all that. Fruit Booty Buttons. Oh yeah, and I can't fight. Yeah, I can't fight. You didn't talk about the women you beat up. You act like I didn't even say that. I said you beat up women because it is a fact. You beat up women. TMZ is not after you because your voice isn't as powerful as mine.
Say what you want about Corey Holcomb. Of course, we all know the recent PDF allegations, you know, the thing with Christine, but the fact of the matter, he's not lying about the whole Joe Budden thing. I made a video about this last week. I dropped the actual links where Joe Budden actually addresses the altercations he's had with, I believe it might have been his girlfriend at the time. I actually talked about it. I dropped the evidence. It's there. Joe Budden talked about this years ago. So it's not like it's a lie. We're not, throwing random accusations. This is real. This is legit. So yeah, Corey does have a point. Joe Budden has been caught up in these little controversies over the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
TMZ is not after you because your voice isn't as powerful as mine. So you can come on and say whatever you want to say. You and the sissies and the scammer girl that's on your show. See, you couldn't get Melissa Ford to go along and laugh with you like you wanted. So you got this scammer girl who is all over the internet. If you do research on that girl on his show, she's a scammer. She takes people money and everything. You got to go, Mike? Okay, I'll catch up with you. Unless you want to go now. Okay. So, hey, Fruit Booty Buttons, you got to say something about the women that you beat up. I know you want to signify on me, but say something about the women you beat up. The Okie Dokie Jackson dude has started another lie, and he's going to have to pay for this one. He lied and said, I tried to get Darlene to hold up a shirt depicting black people as monkeys. You're going to have to prove it. You're going to have to prove it. Because, I mean, she's right here.
That wasn't the shirt. That shirt was, there was a lot of things being totally misconstrued. That shirt you held up the week before.
I held up the shirt when I was trying to stab real hard at somebody that came up to my show and tried to uproot our way of life up here. I did that. And like I say, it ain't a lot of stuff I do I won't do again because I'm old enough to realize, yo, Corey, are you sure this is what you want to do? Most of the time I do that.
Yes, that's his name, Oshay Jackson, right? Oshay Duke Jackson. He always pops into my algorithm from time to time. Yeah, he's been going hard on Corey Holcomb. And at one point, I believe Oshay was a major fan of Corey. So I don't know what's going on. Oshay just be making that AdSense revenue. He doesn't give a damn. He would go at anyone. He's the main guy that's kind of been pushing this theory forward in regards to Darlene being fired, because she wouldn't hold up a t-shirt. But apparently that was a whole load of bullshit because Darlene is still here. They're still friends. Everything is fine. So yeah, it seems like Oshay might be in trouble. I believe there was another guy, Flakko, can't remember his name exactly. They were going hard on Corey Holcomb. But yeah, man, it's like you've gotta get your facts straight before you decide to make a video. If you're running a business and you like to pump out a certain amount of videos every day, you don't really have the time to be focusing on all the little details. But when it comes to other people's lives, when it comes to other people's lives, you've got to be careful. You got to make sure that you have your details in check. Because this past week, there's been a whole narrative created around Darlene Ortiz and Corey Holcomb. They're saying Darlene is fired. They're saying Darlene is owed an apology. They're saying all sorts of things about Darlene. So I feel like, yes, going forward, commentators, YouTube commentators, you got to do your due diligence, right? You can't just be, making up lies and just saying all sorts of nonsense just to get those clicks. Now, I'm in the YouTube game as well, so I understand. But I try to err on the side of caution when it comes to actually making these videos, because it's dangerous, You don't want to get sued for libel. Well, here in the UK, that's a major thing. Maybe in America, it's different.
Most of the time I do that. When I got into it with the drug addict woman who I knew was very dangerous from her past, I knew what I was doing. I knew that I was in danger. So when this guy who lied with her because he was with her intimately or whatever got stabbed, I wasn't shocked he got stabbed because I knew how dangerous that woman was. And a lot of people in the comedy community know how dangerous that woman is. Yeah, like we said, Okie Dokie Jackson lied and said, I tried to get Darlene to hold up a shirt depicting black people as monkeys. We want you to prove that. We want you to prove that because we're tired of you lying. You've lied about quite a few things that you'll see. You'll see. You're going to have to prove what you lied about because I think you're insecure because of the way you look and you've been getting attention and now you think you can take on the world. It's the same thing when Tampon came up here. These are guys who never were able to get attention as they came up, but now they found a way through the internet and using the likeness of other people to lie on them. They starting to believe that they are somebody special. Well, if you are somebody special, we need you to prove what you said, where you said, I tried to get Darlene to hold up a shirt depicting black people as monkeys. You're going to have to prove it, okie dokie. It's coming. Don't worry about it. It's coming. I know you do everything in your way to try to manipulate the guidelines of the internet. YouTube, for example. You manipulate it. But you're going to have to manipulate this in another way because you outright lied. I got you in more than this lie. And what you'll find out on the internet, you think you can just say whatever you want to say, but Tasha K had to get that girl $6 million. And Tasha K, you're going to have to prove that stuff you're saying about me.
He's going to sue O'Shea Duke Jackson. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane if that does actually happen. But is he going to be able to do it? Because I believe O'Shea Duke Jackson is actually in Africa. Was he in Zimbabwe or something? I can't remember exactly where he is in Africa. So yeah, man, like I said, you got to be careful. A lot of these big names in the game, whether they're Corey Holcomb, whether they're bloody Cardi B, you know, they'll sue your ass if you're chatting shit. That's why I try to keep it calm. Sometimes I do, you know, I do get a little excited, but I try to keep it calm. So yeah, O'Shea needs to be careful. Going forward, he needs to be careful. I'm sure they can resolve this. You know, you're both black men. You're both, you know, in your early 70s or something. I believe O'Shea's in his early 70s. I'm joking. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can resolve this. Yeah. But guys, let me just leave it there. Hope you enjoyed this reaction. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you later.